Okay, this is classwork 3.9 or 3.10. I'm going to have you check your work from what we've done in class and then write down the 5 words that I'm going to randomly say out loud. I'm not going to give you a heads up. You're just going to need to listen. Prove to me that you really listen. But here we go. This first one has you rotate 180 degrees clockwise like a clock. So to the right, that is clockwise. Clockwise is turning to the right. So if I turn to the right, that's 90, but then one more, that is 180 degrees. Also know that I could also go 180 degrees counterclockwise. It's the same thing. You'll get in the same place. So I'd like you to be able to write all coordinates accurately. This B is -4, -1, left 4, down 1. C is -2, -1, left 2, down 1. A is -5, -4, left 5, down 4. And then D is -2, -4. Whale. So what I'm having you do is do a 180 clockwise turn around the origin. That means you're gonna oppo every single coordinate. You're gonna opposite. So the opposite of those numbers, I know you could do it. Opposite of -4, -1, +4, +1. Notice all I did was opposite. I didn't switch them, just opposited. 2, -1 because 2, 1, just opposite, and then write that coordinate, be able to write it. When I do -2, -4, that becomes 2, 4, just positive. All I'm doing is opposite in these numbers. And then when I do -5, -4, that's 5, 4 right there. That is after the 180 degree rotation. I'm going to draw that in, and I'm going to label my points. It's all about the points. This is A prime. Make sure you label that. That 4, -1, 1, that's B prime after one move. That T1, that's C1. And then that 2, 4 is D1. Don't blow it by writing the coordinates in the wrong spot. And then what this is having you do is multiply. If it's a factor of 2 bigger than 1, it's getting bigger. It's growing. If that was less than 1, it would be getting smaller. So what I'm doing is I'm timesing every number by 2. I'm timesing all of these numbers by 2. That's what a dilation does. You're always timesing. Even though when we do division, we're still timesing in disguise, but you're timesing, always timesing. So if I do that, when it grows, this is going to grow. My new points are going to end up being this 2. It's going to end up being 4, 2. That's this one right here. When I double it, becomes 4, 2. So write 4 up 2. Write 4 up 2. That becomes C double prime. That is 4, 2. Label that somewhere. When I do 4, 1 doubled, that becomes 8, 2. So write 8 up 2. That's going to be B double prime, D double prime. And then if I do 5, 4, that becomes 10, 8. 10, 8 when I times those both by 2. So over 10 up 8. That's where A double prime is going to go. And then when I do this one, that becomes 4, 8. 4, 8 after both those are times by 2. So write 4 up 8. That's going to be D double prime. And then draw that in. You should be able to look at it and kind of see that they are similar. This is called similar when they have that same look, but not the same exact size. It's a new term we're going to be looking at. They're called similar shapes. They're not the same exact size, but they have the same proportions. So there we go. All right, next problem. For this one, we're doing a 180 rotation and then a factor of 1/5. That means we're going to be dividing by 5. Dividing by 5 on this one. So write the coordinates. Cloud. So my first coordinate right here is negative 5, 5. If I look at B, that's negative 5, 10. If I look at A, that's negative 10, positive 10. So be able to write your numbers. When I do a 180, I'm going to just oppo my numbers, opposite my numbers. The opposite of negative 10, that becomes positive 10. The opposite of 10 becomes negative 10. So that's going to be right 10, down 10. That's going to be where A prime is going to go way down yonder. This 5, negative 5, that becomes 5, negative 5, 5, negative 5. That's going to be C prime. And then when I do this one, opposite becomes 5, negative 10. That's going to be B prime. So that's after the rotation. You could see it's upside down. All these 181s end up being upside down. And then you can see what I'm doing is I'm dividing by 5. So what I'd like you to do is write these coordinates nice and clear where I could see them. So I got 10, negative 10. And then my other coordinate right here, I have 5, negative 5. And then right here I have 5, negative 10. If I'm timesing by a factor of 1/5, that means I'm timesing by 1/5, which is the same as dividing by 5. Just know that. Timesing by 1/5 is the same as dividing by 5. That's what you got to know. So I know you could divide by 5. Don't worry about how high-tech that looks, but just know again, multiplying by 1/5 is the same as timesing by 5. So again, one more time, multiplying by 1/5 is the same as dividing by 5. Know that. So if I divide these by 5, it's going to get smaller. Here we go. This one's going to end up being 2, negative 2. That's where that one's going to end up being. So C double prime, 2, negative 2 after the shrinkage. If I do the next one, 5, negative 5, that becomes 1, negative 1. So let's clean that up a little bit here. So that becomes 1, negative 1. That's going to be C prime there. And then the other one becomes 1, negative 2. And let's write those coordinates. That's after the shrinkage being divided by 5. So here we go. I got 1, negative 1. I have right here 1, negative 2. And then I have 2, negative 2. Label those. This is C double prime. This is A double prime. And then this is B double prime. Label it. Make sure you get that right. Remember, it starts at number 1. It's rotating here to number 2. And then it's shrinking down, getting smaller because that ratio is 1/5. All right, here we go. One more. Bird. All right, so for this one, you're doing a 90 degree, so one last hard one. Quarter turn. It's not 180. Nope. 90 degrees is a quarter turn to the right. So it's going to go right there. Quarter turn to the right. And then what I'm going to do is times by 3. So here we go. Good times. This ends up being negative 3, positive 4. The other one is negative 2, 1. The other one is negative 1, 1. And then I have negative 1, 3. Right? All of these coordinates. When I do a quarter turn to the right, oops, if I could draw that, they're going to flip. And then the right one oppo. The right one's going to be opposited. So when I do a quarter turn to the right. So here I go. That negative 3, 4 becomes 4, negative 3. And then this one becomes opposited because you're going to the right. That's why I opposite that one, because I'm going to the right. So that becomes 4 positive 3. There we go. 4 positive 3. That's going to be C prime, right? 4 up 3. There's C prime. I have that one becomes 3 negative 1, but then that becomes positive. So right 3 up 1. That's going to be D prime. And then I have negative 2, 1. That becomes 1 negative 2 becomes 1 positive 2. Right 1 up 2. That's going to be B prime. And then I have the last one, negative 1, 1. That becomes 1 positive 1. Yep, over 1 up 1. That is A prime. Let's draw that. So that is after a quarter turn to the right. And then on this one, you can see now it's having you times everything by 3. So here we go. I'm going to times every coordinate by 3. I'm going to times this one by 3, times this one by 3. I'm going to times this one by 3, times this one by 3. I'm going to times this one by 3, this one by 3. I'm going to times every coordinate by 3. And it looks like it's going to grow. It's going to get bigger. So here we go. 1, 1 becomes 3, 3. That's going to be B double prime. 1, 2. When I triple that, that becomes 3, 6. 3 all the way up here to 6. That's going to be, I'm sorry, this is B double prime. And that looks like this one right here, if I could fix that, is A double prime. Make sure you're writing these accurately. And then I have D. D becomes right here, times that by 3. That looks like that becomes 12, 9. Looks like it's going to go off the paper a little bit. I am sorry. So that becomes 12, 9. So over 12, up 9. That's going to be C double prime. And then my last one, this one times 3, that's going to give me 9, 3. So right 9 up 3. I know that's becoming kind of a mess, but that's okay. We can live with that. Draw it. All right, so there we go. Make sure you're showing me these coordinates. So here's 12, 9. Here's 9, 3. I got 12, 9 up here. I got 3, 6 right here. Sun. And then I have the other ones labeled. Looks like I got them all labeled. I got all the letters marked the right way. I got all the coordinates written. Even though it looks like a mess, I could kind of see through the mess. All right, so again, show me the 5 words for full credit. Moon. Good luck.